First of all, thank you. This is such a great honor. When Marilyn called me and told me that she'd like to offer this award, I was just blown away. You know, just a few weeks ago, we celebrated the 95th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, when women won the right to vote. We're not given the right to vote. When women won the right to vote, and we're so proud that California was 10 years ahead of that. And as so many of you in this room know, and you're all such great friends, that I'm just blown away by the leadership in this room. I am constantly calling on you for help in supporting our office and for supporting Leader Pelosi, and she would not be able to accomplish what she does on the national level without everyone in this room inspiring her and having her back every day. So thank you very much for that. Who would have thought that 95 years after women won the right to vote that we would be facing in 10 legislative days a possible government shutdown because a bunch of old white guys in the US Congress want to defund Planned Parenthood and take away women's health care. It's incredible that we're facing that now. You know, I could talk about Nancy Pelosi forever. You all know that. And I had a whole prepared set of remarks to give, but I really wanted to speak from the heart instead and talk about how blessed I've been to have so many amazing women role models in my life. Starting with my mother, of course, who passed away in 2007. She's up there with Battle and Bella, so where's Liz? Who just taught me how to live life with courage and grace every day. You know, next, I'll focus on California. My first job in California was working for Lonnie Hancock, State Senator Lonnie Hancock, when she was the regional director for the US Department of Education. And she really just showed me what it was like to be a progressive firebrand and to really fight for the things that you believe in. After Lonnie, the person who's responsible for my having this job with Nancy Pelosi for 13 years is my dear friend Catherine Dodd, who so many of you know. So many of you know Catherine Dodd. She is the greatest mentor I have ever had, and particularly as a man who's been living with HIV for 25 years, the work that she had done and so many other women have done in the fight against HIV/AIDS from the very beginning. They were the ones that were at bedsides. They were the ones of taking care of men who were dying of AIDS from the very beginning. And she and Leslie Ewing and other people inspired me as chair of the AIDS Emergency Fund to begin Breast Cancer Emergency Fund back in 2001, which is an organization that provides emergency financial assistance to low-income women battling breast cancer, disabled by its treatment, to help pay for life's necessities like childcare or shelter or transportation to and from doctor appointments so they can focus on getting well instead of all of the other matters of life. Christine Pelosi. So many of you know Christine Pelosi. She is a fighter and a champion for women. She's a chair of the California Democratic Party's Women's Caucus, and right now is leading the fight on the state level to ensure that workers' compensation is fair to women, which it has not been. And of course, Nancy Pelosi. When I started working for her in 2001, or 2002, she had just been elected minority whip. Democratic whip, which already made her the highest ranking woman ever in Congress. Such an honor to start working for her. As soon as I start working for her, just months later, she became Democratic leader and just was blown away by that. And then, of course, in 2006, became Speaker. And so proud to be working for her when, in the 4 years that she was Speaker of the House, she became the most effective and productive Speaker of the House in 60 years since Sam Rayburn. Passed things like the Affordable Care Act, like the American Recovery Act to get our economy back on track. And I also just want to talk most recently about my future mother-in-law, Geraldine Burns. I'm getting married to my fiance, Dan Burns, Dan Bernal and Dan Burns, funny, in November. And when Dan came out in his early 20s, they lived in Philadelphia, deeply Catholic family, deeply Catholic community, and it was very hard for their family. But Geraldine loved her son. She became the head of PFLAG, Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays, in Philadelphia. And from the year that her son came out, every 6 months she would write a letter to the Archbishop in Philadelphia requesting a meeting. And I'm so proud to say that earlier this year she actually got that meeting. And she said to the Archbishop, in the strong, wonderful way that she is, "When my family needed you, you turned your back on us." And it was so powerful, and she continues to fight today. You know, the Conference on Families is happening in Philadelphia coming up, and she's going to be there with other families of LGBT people, so just very exciting. So I can't, again, express how grateful I am. I see so many friends out there in the room, and you've all been so wonderful, and I admire you so much. I'm humbled. First, I looked at the list of people who had gotten the Jedi Knight Award in years past, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so great. How can I be in their company? But then to be in all of your company today and all the work and leadership that's in this room, it's just really humbling, and I'm so honored. So thank you so much. Thank you.